My name is Sean Thomas, and I'm the author of Be More Today, a 40-day guide to a better version of you. As doctor of physical therapy, I've seen thousands of people do great things. They came to me with ailments, physical ailments, pain, issues, and they got through them, all because they decided in their mind they were going to do it. And I guarantee you, if you just trust the process and be persistent, you too can be the best version of you. Have you ever been out and about with nowhere to stash your keys and ID so you can be hands-free? Whether you're running errands, traveling, or hitting the trail, Spy Belt is a belt that goes where you go. Made with stretchable fabric and a low-profile design, Spy Belt is your perfect companion to keep your essentials secure without bouncing or chafing. Choose from several prints and colors in the original, a wider band in the Pro versions, or the newest Spy Belt, Whiteout, an all-white belt that is perfect for summer. Visit www.spybelt.com to get your Spy Belt today. Run smart, run free, run with Spy Belt. Don't let aches and pains hold you back from living your life. At Jack Physical Therapy, our experienced clinicians create a personalized treatment plan that fit each and every patient's needs uniquely. Whether it's recovering from an injury or enhancing your performance, we've got you covered. With over 150 locations throughout New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, there is sure to be a JAG Physical Therapy location near you. Visit jagpt.com and book an appointment today to get back the life you love. That's jagpt.com, jagpt.com.
Welcome to the Be More Today show. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our show today. Now, let's hear it from our host, Dr. Sean Thomas.
What's going on, folks? Your boy again, Dr. Sean Thomas, back in the building with the Be More Today show. We are back in the building. Folks, we are here again in season 5 of the Be More Today show. It's been great, highlighting so many great people doing great things in the world of health and fitness. And today will be no different. For those who don't know, Be More Today is a movement. We've been going so great for the last 5 years on this podcast. Now in our 5th season, over 82 countries, over 64,000 downloads. Again, thanks to your love and support, this show continues to grow, and we will continue to do things to inspire you to be more today, physically, mentally, spiritually, in all the ways that you know how to be. Our Steps Challenge continues, and we'll be heading again in October of this year, October 1st. Check out our site, bemoretodaycom for that, more for our more merch, and my book and my second book coming out called Project More, coming out this October. Looking forward to hearing more and sharing more with you on that. Our quote for today is simple as always. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools, by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This has been a year for me that I've continued to assess my connections with people. Coming out of the pandemic, I realized that time is short, life is short, and it's very important for us to make sure we're surrounding ourselves with people that lift us up, that help us to be better, that inspire us, that push us to be the best versions of ourselves, and allow us to be or show our true potential in many, many ways, whether that's physically on the track or on the 5K, the 10K, or in your life professionally. I've been doing that. And everyone I brought on the show this year has been someone that I thought was the embodiment of being more today, a positive person doing great things for the community, being transparent and sharing what they struggle with, and failing forward to get those things done. But the camaraderie has been the biggest thing that I've been looking for as we bring on new guests this year, and even old guests who've been on the show since season 1. And the one thing that has been consistent is that brotherhood and sisterhood is necessary. To live together, we have to work together. You got to push people and come together and strive to be great. And like Dr. Martin Luther King says, we live and learn together, or we perish as fools. And there's a group that I've seen for many, many years that I've always been inspired by. They're a group that I usually see on my morning runs on Saturday or Sundays. And the camaraderie that I see from them, the smiles that I get from them, the head nods, right? All those things are indicative of what I see as community. And it's always a pleasure when I see people running, but when I see people who look like me running, it's totally different. And our guest on the show today is none other than the group Black Men Run NYC. Now, Black Men Run is an independent running group focused on the mission to promote a healthy lifestyle among African American males through participation in recreational running activities. Black Men Run supports a wide range of abilities and it's open to everyone, from first-time runners to advanced runners. We strive to promote increased fitness through a culture of running, resulting in a healthy brotherhood. Folks, I have two of the captains on here today from Black Men Run NYC, Karan and Peter. Gentlemen, what is going on?
Just happy to be here, man, with you. It's an honor to be with Be More today. It's exciting to just talk about the things that we do, the spaces that we create, and what we now consider extremely normal. To just be involved in a physical lifestyle. It's really good to be here with you. Pete?
Yes, definitely a great sorry. Definitely a great day, to explain to, different crowds of people what we do, how we interact, gives us a great platform to just show that, we are approachable.
I love it. I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pets included, please welcome to the stage our two guests for today. And I'm excited just to talk about what you guys do. I mean, it's been really a pleasure interacting with so many run clubs in New York City. You've been doing this show all this year, highlighting all the great run clubs. But when it comes to this run club, I have a special place in my heart for a number of reasons. Because one, I ran track all through high school, college, and being someone who went to a boarding school, an Ivy League school where I was not always one of the minorities in terms of numbers, seeing people like me running was always something I got excited about because I didn't really see a lot of that. So even in this running culture now, talking about road runners and these road races where people have not always associated distance running with us, right? It's always great to see our people out there doing this thing, and even better to see our men out there doing this thing, because the club that I run, Spartan Sunday Running Club, is predominantly women. Our membership is probably about 60-70% females and about 30% males. So I'm one of the men in our club, but there aren't a lot of men in our club, which is fine. But it's just really exciting to see clubs like this, where it's all just men of color coming together and rocking out. So how did this club, or when did this club start in the first place, if you guys have any idea on that?
Way back in this feels like way back now, but way back in October of 2013,
Yes.
BMR NYC was the third chapter of the Black Men Run national organization that was started. BMR NYC was founded by Kovan Flowers and Brandon Jackson, and many other brothers whose names I can't recall off the top of my head, Pete.
Yeah.
But
those are the two main guys.
Yeah, the main guys. And they founded the group, because one of them was going through their own health challenges and wanted to create a space where folks in his age group and younger and beyond would have a space to get active. And then little did he know, it would be beyond getting active. It would get competitive. It would become a safe space. It would become all of these things for all these men who live totally different lifestyles will come together around this specific thing called running.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Anything you want to share, Pete?
Karan was spot on. The explanation was great. I mean, started about Kovan. You were just like you said, looking for a safe space at the time, 2013. He didn't see a group where he felt that was approachable. Black guy, just chilling, wanted to get active, besides going to the gym, wanted to hit the streets and running, and he see all these run groups. So he felt like, what can he do? So he came up with this, the idea from Atlanta, and started his own chapter. But basically, it's having that safe space, like you said, the most important thing. He felt safe, comfortable, and wanted to get his brothers active.
Yeah, I love it. And I love that the origins of it are not just about having a club or just coming together, but the health component to it, right? The fitness component to it, the wellness component to it is powerful for me. And I'm curious. You guys have been doing great things since then, but there's so many chapters around. What has been the success for BMR? What makes it so different or successful in creating these different chapters around the country?
P, you want to start?
My wife is pregnant right now, so I'm getting calls coming in.
You
So
want me to answer it?
yes, I gotta. She's basically having birth any day now, so
Oh man,
I gotta let me step aside for a few moments.
no problem.
No
I
problem.
remember
I'll
those
jump
days.
in.
I remember those days for sure. So
Sorry
that's
about
real talk. You got to be on call for that. Don't mess that
that.
up.
Yes,
Right.
I see. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second.
You're good. So I'll jump in.
Sure.
But I think BMR NYC has been successful because um, I guess I'll start with what attracted me to the group, and I feel like it's something that continues to attract the imagination, and everyone's seeing themselves in it.
Mhm.
So for me, I started running, after some health things with my family started to take place. But it was just like, lose some weight here and there, try to get my stuff together. But the quote that I think that really kept me going and made me a runner is diabetes runs in your family because nobody runs in your family.
Mm.
After seeing that quote, like everything clicked, made sense. Um, I started running regularly. Um, I was encouraged to run races, and in the natural progression, I was looking for a home for my activity. And when I saw Black Men Run, I was like, wow, like that speaks to me in so many different ways. One, it's a group of men specifically focused on just physical activity. And then it's also a space that is only for Black men.
Mm.
Considering, let's, think back to 2013, 14, 15, 16, a lot of things were happening in the country. And going for a run, Ahmaud Arbery, all of the things that we can think about, like,
Yep.
it wasn't sweet and still not sweet for us. So to have a group where on any given Sunday, Wednesday, or any day of the week, we're out in droves running together. We are part of the mantra, we run together, we sweat together, together we are strong. All of that being a true factor and force, I feel like that's why the group continues to be successful because us Black men, when we see ourselves in something, it can't help but be attractive and just really be a vehicle for many of us who may be facing health challenges or just want a space to be active and get better.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate you sharing that with the health tip. One of the things I shared in my book and I've shared on the show in the last couple of years is that I was pre-diabetic for a minute. Had no idea until I had to go to get a checkup for some work stuff, and then it came out, fatty liver, pre-diabetic, and I was like, "What are you talking about? I run already. I do certain things. I'm already active. What's going on?" But knowing that does run in my family, not even seeing any real changes in me because I was fine, but going and getting those results changed a lot for me in terms of doing more running, doing more fitness stuff, taking it more seriously, making it a part of my regular life, and
Yep.
changing my diet, changing my water intake, all those different things to the extent that now this Be More Today platform has been all of those things and reminding others who may be in that same situation who don't even know that, yes, you have to do this every single day, make it part of your regular life. And yes, us as people of color, we struggle with that, especially when it comes to depending on where you live in the world, what your cultural situation is, what your family background is, your family history, all those things we struggle with. And I think for me, the interesting thing about BMR NYC is that you guys come together can talk about creating a safe space for that to happen. I'm one who has always been had issues or challenges finding safe spaces to be a Black man. At work, it's challenging because I've always been one of the only people of color in my job who's a man who works there. And now that I lead or I'm a boss at my job, it's a little different. But when I first got there, with that same kind of situation in college, same concept. You know, I'm one of maybe 4 or 5 on this team where the minority is us and the majority is not. And when it comes to the men, we were in that same category. So I've always been in spaces where I was the only. And I think as a result, I've found it hard to connect with other Black men on a number of things, whether it's running or just talking about real life situations. It's been challenging. So when you mention the word healthy relationships in your bio, it gets me thinking about so many more things. I'm curious if you want to share. You know, I know it's a healthy brotherhood. Nice, I see it as that. But can you share with the listeners what makes the healthiness, or how you guys really enforce that healthy environment when it comes to BMR NYC?
Yeah, no problem. So that healthy environment, we're known as the healthy brother. And it's a special, catchphrase, I would say, when people tend to describe us. A lot of spaces don't encourage Black men to be themselves fully and authentically. And BMR NYC does it regardless of space, regardless of pace, I should say, regardless of pace, regardless of your background, regardless of financial status. Like, we don't ask anything of our membership. We're not asking anything other than you show up, you run. You don't even have to bring a positive attitude. Like, we're not asking you to be more than what you are.
Right.
We're asking you to come authentically as you are and be amongst the space. And I feel like that's such a breath of fresh air for Black men. Because in every space in society, we're asked to be something we're not. We're pigeonholed and categorized as so many different things that may have nothing to do with who and what we are in that time, in that moment, in that space. So, the healthy brotherhood, it's a natural state, just because, we're not asking you to be anything that you're not.
Yeah.
And I would add this, for the group in terms of the health component. So Black Men Run itself, right? Not specifically NYC, but Black Men Run itself was founded because Black men lead and are getting a gold medal in being ahead in heart disease. And we don't want to lead that. We don't want to be first place in that. We don't want to have the medal and be on a podium for that. And I feel like that is such an attractive piece for guys as well. We run together, we sweat together we are strong. I feel like that is indicative of that space for Black men. Welcome back, Pete.
Yes, thank you. I think I got a little bit of what you were saying about getting folks, I guess, into the. Can you hear me well? Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, another thing, just to piggyback off that, it's great to get guys who just never ran before. We all know our community. We always got those brothers, who just, hanging around, doing nothing. These guys never ran since high school and stuff like that. So it's good to have those guys who don't know nothing about running, who say they, they might have went to the track once and ran around once. It's good to get those guys who know nothing about running, bring them and let them know and inform them that, listen, this is another healthy alternative to maybe, going to the gym or walking your son to school, any situation. But brothers who don't know anything about running, it's great to have them come, show them, this is a great avenue, not just to get healthy and fit, which is the main idea, but the camaraderie.
So, one of the things that I admire about this group is that it mimics Ted Corbett in so many ways. For those who remember or don't know Ted Corbett, I've said on the show, he's really the founder of distance running, co-founder of Road Runners, president of Road Runners. Back in the day, he ran so many races, really helped to solidify the distances for marathons across the world. And I resonate with him in so many ways. As a physical therapist, because he was one too. As a Black man, because he was one too. as someone who gave back to community, because that's what he did, and I try to do, and you guys try to do as well. I see him as this guru when it comes to the running world, and there are still so many stereotypes about people of color running. Yes, we can do in the end of the Olympics, right? The 100 and 200 and Karan, you mentioned you played football back in the day, so it seems so you were pretty good at that, and we can do those things. But when it comes to this traditional distance running or running more than a mile or running more than around the block, that has not always been what the concept of what we do is. So when we get into these things, it's always interesting. And people say we don't swim and they say that we don't run, right? These are two things that are kind of stereotypes when it comes to what Black people and Black men are really getting into. But now that there's so many groups coming up like yours and other groups that are going out there, especially in the urban community, and bringing on people. I was in the park 2 weeks ago. My daughter plays tennis with a great organization um, uh, in Brooklyn, and I'm walking around her tennis court while she's playing, and I was there on a Monday. I was there on a Friday. So on Friday, these guys who were also there on Monday, they said, "Hey, come here for a second." I said, "What's up?" And I didn't know them, but I was like, "What's going on?" And they just wanted to know, "How many laps are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just walking around, getting my steps up. We're in the steps challenge, whatever else." And they were a little older, right? One was in their 50s, one was 53, and one was 49. And they're like, "Yo," and then you start sharing their story. One guy had a stroke. The other guy used to be active but kind of fell off. Two brothers, right? And they were just like, "Yo, you inspire me right now. I haven't gotten out there. I haven't gone anywhere. But are you gonna be here on Monday?" I'm like, "Yeah, come Monday and Friday. My daughter has tennis. I walk around and I run around to kill the time." And they said, "Yo, well, maybe I'll join you. Maybe I'll join you on Monday. I'll walk around with you." And I was like, "Bet, that's amazing." But I think it goes back to what you're talking about, Karan. Literally, you're going out there and you're showcasing things. And when people see you, they get inspired. When people see people that look like them doing something that either they used to do or they want to do, now they're inspired to go out there and do that same thing. So I think it's great what you guys are doing. And I know you guys do a number of things in the community as well. And I wanted to know if you could just share with some of the listeners some of the great things you guys are doing in the community locally and abroad, if you know.
No doubt. I'll start with before I get into the community, I'll start with the first part of what you presented with Ted Corbett. So Ted Corbett, we reference him and our group specifically, Black Men Run NYC. Ted Corbett is the unicorn. A lot of people, when they run marathons, they're chasing that unicorn. The unicorn for them is to run Boston and to do all 6 world majors, except our unicorn is Ted Corbett, to be more like Ted. We, as a group, have adopted his son, Gary Corbett, who is a Black marathoner historian. Every year when New York Roadrunners has the 15K to honor his father, Ted Corbett, who, for all the accolades that you said, he was also the first president of New York Roadrunners, as well as a founder, like you said. He is also the architect of the 5-borough New York City Marathon. He is, and we learned that from his son, Gary Corbett. You said, he was a physical therapist like you. We've referenced him as a Black man, as a healer. Like, they don't lead with those stories about his life and how much. I think that's a difference maker for how we see ourselves in looking at Ted Corbett. That's why he's the unicorn. Like, he's the unicorn for our group. If we can all be more like Ted, we would be fulfilling our role in this run space, in this community, et cetera, et cetera. So I appreciate you leading with that and allowing us to just, touch on and talk about it more. Over the years, we've gotten to know his son. Like I said, we call him Uncle Gary, but Gary Corbett, he, has built a special relationship with our group. I'm grateful to our founding captains, Kovan and Brandon, for starting that. Pete and I look to continue that. A part of how we have continued it, we started a race a couple years ago, now 3 years ago. It was kind of born out of the pandemic. we started a 50K. It is a unsanctioned 50K through New York City. 50K being one of Ted Corbett's normal training route numbers, as in he would run 50Ks around the perimeter of Manhattan, as a regular training route. So we started this 50K. It's run every year on his anniversary of birth, which is, for the sake of the day being this, or the time being the same, it's the last Sunday in January. So it could snow, it could be frozen out there, it could rain, it could be windy, it could be below zero. We're running it. And first years, we did it for ourselves. Like it was our way of honoring his legacy. And then we turned it into, all right, well, look, we can't be selfish. The whole run community should be a part of this. So we made it a part of our regular, we're going to put our resources into this, and make this a race celebrating his life, celebrating his commitment and contributions to the run world. And it's taken off. A lot of folks, they sign up for what the average person would deem a crazy one, that finishes at Ted Corbett Way in the Bronx. So we start at our home base, Brooklyn's Prospect Park, and we make our way up to the Bronx. I think it's 227th, 228th. Pete could correct me.
I think it's 228th. I think it's 228th and Broadway.
There you go. 228th and Broadway, and we go up there. So, that's a part of our give back, our contributions. I would also add one other, and then Pete, maybe you could speak about the scholarship that we gave to Doobie, if you want, as a part of another give back. But the last thing I'll say is last Sundays in the month, what we try to do as I would say another give back, is we do hood runs. And hood runs meaning, we're going to communities throughout the 5 boroughs where Black people are the majority, or Black people need to be seen. And we put up the BMR NYC signal, and all of the guys who've been on the shelf, who haven't been running for a little bit, they come out because they know it's going to be a little bit more slow and moderately paced. And it's also going to be an opportunity for these communities to see brothers like us on a Sunday, running through the neighborhood, giving everybody their greetings and salutations. And before you know it, we got 4 or 5 miles done. Guys have gotten a workout who have not gotten a workout in a minute. And it's just an overall, general inspiration. So to your story about doing your laps, that's how we do our laps.
Yes, definitely.
That's big time. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, another, I guess, a give back. We had the opportunity of one of our young members had went off to college, and it was just something that came organically. Like as Karan was explaining, everything is organic. One of our guys was going to school, and we put together the scholarship fund, to help one of our brothers, younger brothers, a fund basically, for books. I haven't been to college in a while now, but he was books, things that you need for your dorm room.
Yeah.
We just put a scholarship between our guys, and it's a great opportunity that we had done for him. But,
I love it.
Sorry, just a lot of things going around outside of the interview. That's why it's kind of throwing me off.
You about to be a dad, so that's real talk. I remember those days waiting for the phone call at work, waiting for, gotta be ready. Text messages on, no interruptions. Don't miss the phone call. So it's all good.
No, just to give you some insight. No, it was a call. Basically my wife went to the store. She called me and she was dizzy, and calls kept coming through. So it's kind of like,
yeah. That's
so
real talk.
I know I'm kind of like in and out, but I just staying on alert.
Listen,
Sorry about that.
I think one of the things that everyone is seeing coming out of the pandemic is that, Life is real, yo. There are real things that happen. There are no real like commercials in life. Life is on all the time. You know what I mean? So like, I think it's fine to be real, and I don't edit a lot of things in these podcasts. So I'm like, yo, this is the reality of life. Like people have jobs. My guy's on vacation. You waiting for your a baby to come. Like this is what happens. This is what real life is. For us,
I was
to
gonna say,
sugarcoat it.
listen, if you want to edit me out, I know I've been kind of issues with the Wi-Fi, the baby, my sister-in-law calling me because I didn't pick up the first two times. I'm kind
Nah,
of
yo.
like, but
I think that's the beauty of showcasing how life really. I think sometimes we get so caught up in the fantasy of what life can be or should be, but it's not. Life is challenging. Life has, this is real life. It's what it's all about. So
yeah, because
I'm fine with all those things. I'm fine with all
it's
those
great. I hope Quran, gave a great insight of the things that cover the questions that you asked so far. But yeah, that's one of the give backs that we had done, the
That's great.
scholarship.
That's
One of our
great.
guys. Yeah.
Now, do you guys do a race also that's in Brooklyn?
We do. So our run calendar as of the last 3 years has been the same for the races that we curate. We have, I guess, there's two races in Brooklyn specifically out of the three that we curate. One I told you about, the Tech Corbett 50K. That
Top of the
one
year.
we're going to, yeah, top of the year.
Starts
That
off the
kicks
year.
it off. The second one is the Shirley Chisholm Trail 5K. That is our give back, give back. It's free 99. You could bring any and everybody. They can come to beautiful Shirley Chisholm State Park. We have a really scenic, tough in a good way, 5K for any and everybody who wants to do it. You can run it, you can walk it, you can power walk. You cannot ride a scooter through there. You can do all of the regular physical stuff in that space. That's one of the races I'm very proud of because I'm from East New York, where the race takes place. And it's one of those things where like, why not? Why not do something like this and make it free?
Yeah.
And make it a beautiful one where you get all the amenities of a regular race, but it's free and folks come out and participate. That race has grown exponentially. I think this year we had almost about 200. I'm rounding up, but it was around like 160 registrants and folks who came out and did their thing in there. And then we have the Bed-Stuy Heritage 5K, which is our last
Following
race.
month.
Yeah, at the end of July. Brett, that's a really
Third Sunday in July.
Yeah, there you go. Third Sunday in July. Peter's already advertised in advertise mode for next year. That's why he's giving me it like that.
So that June and July, we got you covered on the 5Ks.
Yeah.
June and July. Just always remember, June and July, BMR got their 5Ks.
That's
Right.
awesome. That's awesome. I was actually upset because I registered for the July race, but I had another thing I had to do that same day. That was this year, it's past year. And I was registered for last year too, but we were upstate with my mom. We got trapped upstate. When I go to my mom's house, we get trapped there. If you guys know anything about being trapped in your parents' house, we're not allowed to leave. So I missed that race, but that race goes right by my house. I live in Bed-Stuy, so I am looking forward to hopefully doing that race at some point in time. But I'm going to say on the show right now, for the Ted Corbett 50K, sign me up. I'm there. I'm gonna join y'all for the Ted Corbett race in January of next year. You can mark my words. You can tell Zaire that I said it. I'm gonna join y'all on that day and be a part of that because I believe in that wholeheartedly, and I think it's great. I think what I think is that we should be honoring him at the beginning of the year, not the end of the year in general. When it comes to the races, I think we already know about the history. And although I love the Fred Levo half that I usually do in January as well, and that race always has a great turnout. The Ted Corbett 15K that's at the end of the year has okay turnout, but should have much more and should have much more participation and much more highlight and much more gusto to it. So I will definitely join you guys in January for that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'd be great.
I'm not
that
sure
reminds
if
Go ahead, Pete.
I'm not sure if Karan explained. I don't know if I'm sorry. Once I've been going in and out. If we explained the Ted Corbett 15K, did you guys talk about that? The New York Road Runners.
We didn't talk
No, go
about
ahead,
that,
Pete.
but
Oh,
I've done it
how
before. Yeah, go ahead.
basically how there's a medal for that race now, and there wasn't prior to that for the past 10 plus years that it's been going on. And not to toot our own horn, but we kind of push for that. We Black Men Run NYC had our own medals for specifically for that race. I
Hmm.
think the past 7 years, I
Hmm.
believe, we started giving out medals for that race
Hmm.
separately from New York Road Runners, and that was just one of our you know give backs, not give back, but honoring of Ted Corbett, because we felt like this guy pioneers club, first president, and we felt like there was more should have been honored towards him. So we had started a medal each year, and then I think last year, I'm not sure, Karan, you could correct me. Last year was the first year that New York Road Runners presented their own medal for that race. So that's we kind of
Yep.
you know fell back off the medal because not that our job was done, but I guess our what can you say, our drive to push him in the forefront further than what he is, I guess, gave more clarity and honor to his name that
Absolutely.
made them give a medal.
Absolutely. You guys highlighted something that was not highlighted. You put
Yes.
some smoke under something that needed some smoke. And as a result, they responded correctly. And now that legacy will continue to be a legacy that hopefully goes on for generations at a time. That is exactly what I think you guys should have done. And the fact that there wasn't a medal to begin with is kind of insane. But the fact that you guys went out there and provided medals for those who didn't have them, I think that speaks volumes to what your club stands for. That you really are about community and highlighting those who should be at the forefront, giving people their flowers when they deserve those things. And yeah, I'm glad that Roadrunners came and heard the charge, or like Karan was tooting the horn. They heard the horn toot and they responded correctly. So I salute you guys for that. Kudos for that. That's amazing. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Thanks for that, Pete.
Yes.
So I know, one of the things that we talk about in terms of men of color is, yes, the physical issues, right? Diabetes and hypertension and heart disease and all the other things. But when it comes to mental health, I think there are a number of things that we also don't always have a chance to talk about. And I know for me, running has become a mental sanctuary, if you will, where I get so much more clarity after even a long run or a short run, just to go out there and tackle my day. Um, what have been some of the mental health or social benefits you think of having a group like BMR NYC?
Um, I would start by just, you know, reflecting what you gave me and Pete in this, platform. Grace.
Hmm.
There is a grace that's not extended to us because we're supposed to be all of these angry, aggressive stereotypes that they have for us. But there is a grace that comes with being a part of the group. Pete, here he is expecting his third child, getting these phone calls, et cetera, et cetera. You talk about not editing because this is grace. This is real. You could see the beds in the background blurred. I'm just, hanging out here. You've extended a grace to us that I think the group does organically some real grace for us. Whether it's we haven't seen you in a month, come and run
Hmm.
with us. Guys aren't going to be upset with you. If anything, they're going to be happy that you're
Hmm.
back. Even if it's just for a pop up. I can even share a personal anecdote. Pete and I were made co-captains as of last year, which is an extreme honor after the founding captains, did their thing, and they're not gone, but they're still with us. But Pete and I are at the helm, and I'm trying to provide leadership. Pete, again, now expecting another child, can be born any day. His time is short. I changed careers in a dramatic, dramatic fashion.
Yes.
going from doing local politics to be now becoming a New York City firefighter. My schedule has changed dramatically. And the guys have given us nothing but grace. When we show up, we're there for the run. Whether we're late or not, there is a grace. And to me, that's just great for my head, for my mental. When I need to, I think all of us, we love our families, but we need that space to also be who we once were, ourselves, to just be Peter Campbell, to be Karan Allen, to be Sean Thomas, and not daddy, not husband, not son, but to be who we are. And it's grace. I love the group for that.
I believe that's definitely grace, like Karan said. I think it's from a mental health standpoint, I feel like it's great to have an extended family. That's how I feel when I go to, with these brothers. I know our weekly group runs Wednesdays, Sundays. To me, is my family knows where I'm at on Wednesdays and Sundays at that certain time because it became an extension of my mental. I know those specific days I gotta run. If I'm not in town, I'm running somewhere else or just getting active somewhere else. But I believe it's the brothers you get so close, they become your own brothers. A lot of the guys in the group, I'm kind of more close than some of my real life biological brothers. So, over the years we grew and we basically became family. And that also helps towards your mental health because, if your sister or your mom or you have argument with your one of your family members, you go in your group chat and talk about them with your extended family, which is the brothers, So you go talk about them, just to vent a little bit about your family, to your extended family. So, that kind of helps out too, when you need another, person to vent to or another, group to vent to. So,
Absolutely.
those small things kind of, they help your mental health,
Yeah.
kind of get you up or where you're, if you're down.
Yeah. No, I love it. I mean,
Small
that's what,
things. I like to see the small things.
yeah, that's what the group should be doing, right? It should be some kind of a safe haven or a safe space for us to go to. So it's sounding you guys are doing that and so much more, which means that you guys are really exactly where you should be and being more for your community. And one of the things that I've been asking everybody on the show this year is how they intend to be more in 24, either physically or professionally. Like Karan, you just mentioned going from one career to another career. That maybe you're more for this year, and Peter, maybe just extending your family is the same for you. But I'm curious, as brothers, what has been your charge or your goal for this year to be more in 2024, whether running wise or otherwise?
You want to start?
The more for me, I will go, or one, I would say running wise or active, let's keep it on the running side. I do have some goals in mind that I do want to achieve running wise. One of the running goals is to Boston qualify. So, you know, training and getting myself ready for that. That's kind of one of my goals for for 2024. As of right now, this extended family is kind of for might have to push my training back. So, you know, we'll see. I definitely am, by the way, I'm having a daughter, my first daughter. I have two sons, and this will be my first daughter. So, it's a balance. I have goals in running and I have goals of, getting that first daughter. You know, guys always telling me daughters, love their fathers. So, I want to cherish that. So that's part of my more for 24 too.
Yes, sir. I have a daughter. I have a 9-year-old daughter, so I know that very, very well. Yes, I'm definitely a girl dad. You will probably be one too, and just get ready for the finger polish and whatever else they be having and doing your hair and whatever else. I always have my nails painted by my daughter. It is what it is. So be ready. Be ready. Karan, how about
That's
you?
my family piece and my running piece. Those are my two goals.
Awesome.
More for 24, I would say.
More for 2024. I would say run wise, yeah, I'm making a return to the marathon this year. Last year when I, was in and out of training, there's a lot going on. I was preparing to go into the fire academy. The marathon took place the day before I was going to start. I was torn between whether or not I should run or not, so I pushed it back. And then, my body is different now because of training that way for those months and then needing to stay a specific way to, serve the people of the city, being physically sound in a very different way from running. So now trying to marry the balance between the two has been an incredible challenge. But I know I'm up for it, and I'm slowly starting to see the benefits of that sort of training popping up in small spurts in my run training as I work to build myself back. The hope is to run the New York City Marathon this year. My training has been spotty, but I've been spotty with training before and still been able to perform in the way that I'd like. And I'm not trying to Boston qualify. So, I'm cool right now, but Boston qualifying is a goal. And when I ran Berlin in 2022, I finally saw it as a reality. Oh, I can actually do this. And fast forward, life changes, et cetera, et cetera. I am where I am now, but it's not something that has left me. So, but right now, it's just to return to the marathon, to figure out how to use this new body in a way that can benefit the goals. So that's my run goals. I guess, personally, I'm just trying to be a better overall like human and figure out me, what I personally want, versus myself as a husband, a father, a son, a firefighter, community activist. I am all of those things, but who and what do I want personally? So that's how I'm working on being more in 2020.
Yeah. Fellas, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate the transparency. And yeah, I guess we're all trying to hit Boston, myself included. We got to figure it out. But listen, how can people connect with you? If they want to meet with you, do a run, where do you guys meet as we kind of wrap up? Where do you meet? What days do you meet on, times, just so the runners who want to be out there and connect with you know where to find you?
So let also consider this an invitation to you, just straight up. We meet 2 days out of the week, Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights, because it's summertime right now, we're meeting at Gershwin Park, also known as Linden Park, where we do track on Wednesdays. You will get a workout, and normally that's Pete's bread and butter.
7 p.m.
Yeah, right. At 7 p.m. For those who don't know where Linden Park is, it's on Linden Boulevard and Vermont Street. That's the entrance where you can come in. It's right off of Pennsylvania, for those who generally want a larger avenue. But yeah. And then Sunday Run Day, 9:30 a.m. at Prospect Park, Grand Army Plaza entrance. That can be a more chill, lot of talking, vibing,
yeah.
at those ones. Yeah, connected. Those are the official spaces where you can come out, get a run in. We Black men specifically, because this is a Black men run, but we're looking to have some open runs, right, Pete?
Yes.
In
more
the near
tentatively
future.
towards Sundays.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the to reiterate, the Wednesday summertime is from June June, July, and August, we're in Gersh Linden Park. All the other months out of the year, we're at Prospect Park at 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
So basically, the last Wednesday in August will be the summer officially ends for track series for our summertime.
Gotcha.
Once September hits, we're back at Prospect Park 7:30 p.m.
Gotcha.
every Wednesday.
Awesome. Okay. And where can people follow you guys or the club BMR NYC on Facebook, Instagram? How can they reach out to you guys if you want to connect?
Our main social media platform is Instagram. It allows us to show off our wonderful pictures where we get together in a nice, smooth fashion. So you can follow us at Black Men Run, spelled out NYC, at Black Men Run NYC. So you can follow us there. You'll see most updates there. If we're having a hood run or open run where any and everybody could come out, it'll be posted there with the location, time, et cetera, et cetera. You can shoot us a DM. We will get to it. Sometimes it's a little slow because life is life. Yeah. But we will get back to you. And our email, we have an email where you could send us anything, an invitation to a run that you might have coming up. If you want us on your podcast, you want us to have some type of dialogue, you want us to come to your school, speak to the students, et cetera, et cetera. It's BLK Men Run NYC at gmail.com. So
not everybody's on social media. So
yeah, it's old school. You can send us an email.
That's right.
But those are the ways to get in touch with us. We're grateful for the time that you had us today.
Yes, definitely.
Listen, I appreciate you guys so much. You made this for one for the books. It's been a long time coming, but I'm glad we got it done. Again, shout out to Zaire for helping me get this done. And I appreciate you guys. Again, I committed myself on the show, so it's going to be a timestamp. It's happening. There's no turning back. I'm going to do that at 50K with you guys in January for sure. And I'm going to join you for one of your runs, if not some more runs. Our group meets on Sundays too, but we meet early. We meet at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I may actually run with us and then come run with y'all. I'm fine for those things, or just skip our run and come with you guys. But you will see me at a Black Men run sometime before the year is out. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. There you go. So, fellas, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for making the show one for the books. And I hope you enjoy your vacation. And Pete, keep the phone on.
Baby watch any day now.
keep the phone close to you. No airplane mode. Keep the phone on. Good Wi-Fi. Need it. You need it.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for having us.
And folks, they said so many poignant things. I mean, these guys are phenomenal, right? They're out there in community doing great things, doing great work, showing their transparency, putting the work in. They're newly elected captains for the BMR NYC contingency, and I'm impressed by them. I'm inspired by them, really. Brothers coming together, and yes, keeping it simple. Life be lifing, and it is what it is. But they can still put themselves out there to be healthier on the run Wednesdays and Sundays. So if you want to join them, I'll put their show information in the link so you know what's going on, and continue to be more in your own regard. Their stories of triumph are real. Even though they have so many things going on, they're so committed to being better for themselves and for their families. And I think that healthy brotherhood is what makes it even more possible, because they have connections to stay inspired. A quote from the day, don't forget it, by MLK. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Let's be wiser this week. Let's be smarter this week. Let's be more connected this week with our fellow man, with our brothers and sisters. And until next time, I hope you too will be more in 2024. We'll see you next time. Peace.